The goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
That intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
Excellent. So.
Good enough for rapping.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band show.
And listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
But this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot, up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown...
Today we have a very special episode during Musikfest here at Godfrey Daniels. We have, from Italy, Ireland, and the U.S., Gadan.
Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese, and you are listening to your next favorite band, and I can guarantee you, well, let's say it this way, they're my new favorite band from the discovery of what Musikfest is. Learned about this band back when they were added to the lineup. Learned that a prior guest of the show, Enda Scahill, when he was with We Banjo 3, was on this band now, and that immediately added them to the list. And then last night, absolutely fell in love with the set. It was one of the best I've ever seen at Musikfest. And so a very unique story here for us to share with you all, and was just blown away by the magic that was created when I reached out. And you all were not only willing to show up and be on the show, but all five of you to come to Godfrey Daniels to have a chat and also perform. I'm amazed. So thank you very much for all of that opportunity. We decided to turn this into like one of our regular episodes rather than each day we go live at 3 during Musikfest to kind of share, our picks of the day and then also, have a guest on, one or two people. And then when this opportunity came along, I'm like, oh, hell no. We're gonna dedicate this to be an episode in and of itself to Gadan, and especially after last night's set, people need to know more and more about this band. So we did divvy this up. The tagline of Gadan, am I saying that right? Gadan? Gadan. Yeah. Is Irish music with American flavor and Italian seasoning. And it's one of the reasons for that tagline is these three gentlemen here are all from Italy. All from Milan or?
Milano's area.
All right, that area. But let me see if I can get this right. So Lorenzo Testa.
Yeah.
Johan Gatti.
Yeah, right.
And Jacopo Ventura.
Perfect.
But here you can call him Jeff Ventura.
Yeah.
That's the Americanization of things. And so the band also will often feature 3 banjos, sometimes 2. And the 2 other banjo players are going to be on in a minute after we spend some time with Lorenzo, Johan, and Jacopo. But you're, Lorenzo, one of the other banjo players, amongst other things. Mandolin, a bunch of other cool stuff. But let's start with you. Introduce yourself, maybe give some of your bio. And
Yeah, I play tenor banjo. I'm one of the 2 tenor banjos in the band, but I also play mandolin. And yeah, that's it. Tenor banjo is a bit different from the usual American banjo. It's a sort of Irish version of the banjo, 4 strings, tuned like fiddle and mandolin, and I can switch from one to the other. Yeah.
And then anything you can share about like the creation of Gadan and some of the backstory of the band.
We formed 4 years ago, I guess. Yeah, because me and Jacopo were. We are still playing in other bands in Italy, touring Europe, and during the pandemic we finally had time to put again a band together, and we already were playing with Johan as well at sessions, Irish sessions in Italy.
Sure.
And so that's the way we started the band.
Excellent, excellent. And we'll get to how the other the international flavor that was put in. Johan, tell us about yourself and your instrument.
Yeah, so I play the fiddle, and I have a background in classical music.
Sure.
But Irish folk music was the first folk genre or traditional genre that I came into while I was still living in Italy. And that's also the way I got to sort of like connect with other folk musicians, because the sort of scene of Irish music in Italy is very small, but it's very tight.
Sure.
So it's very easy to get to know like people that are in the same scene.
Into the same type of music, yeah. And then did I see you studied in Scandinavia?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I moved there 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm studying Scandinavian folk music, so Swedish and Norwegian. Yeah.
We definitely need an episode that goes and kind of dissects all those different
You
ones.
should.
And Jacopo, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I have a classical background as well, and then I played for so many years French music and French Canadian music, and then I was offered to have a duo with an Irish concertina player. And
Yeah.
so this wasn't like 8 years ago, and I slightly went into Irish music, and then 4 years ago we had this occasion.
Sure.
I mean, during the pandemic, so we had a lot of spare time, free time.
Sure, right? Yeah.
We had to fill it.
Play around with a few
Lorenzo
things,
said,
yeah.
okay, we said, yeah, we have time now, so let's create this band into Irish music.
Absolutely, yeah. And then, so you play acoustic guitar, bass, from what I understood, and then also comes like percussion,
Yeah.
stomp kind of thing to add to the festival sound that you called it earlier. There was a song I was hoping they might play, and they're like, no, we can't do that. And I get it. I last night when I saw it, I'm like, I really don't think they can do this one, but I'm going to ask anyway. Yeah, anything else you would want to share about like kind of the early stages of Gadan?
At the start we were just Italian, and then after a couple of years, we entered in contact with Enda,
Yep.
and this year actually, Eric joined the band.
Sure.
And it's really good because at the start, I mean, being just Italian at the start with a Irish music background, we were trying to do our best, and
Yeah.
it was kind of working. And then, of course, Enda spiced up the Irish part, and but also the bluegrass part, because Enda's really good in the bluegrass style. And with Eric, we really got the American, the pure American flavor.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and that American flavor, like you're talking about, is Appalachian music, bluegrass music, is very much in its roots Irish, Celtic type music. So that's a big reason why that was there. And then the Italian seasoning is very obvious. But one question I had about just listening to, the Irish music last night, and then somewhat always getting re-surprised by the Italian accent. Like, how is that received in Italy? Like, is it like thought of as a unique and interesting thing, or is it more prevalent? Like, how is the Irish music community? You said it was small, but like, how about the public's listening of it?
No, well, we have festivals in Italy of Irish music.
Got it.
We also have Irish dance schools and an Irish music academy, sort of. It's kind of new. So there are people playing Irish music and listening to Irish music. It's not so uncommon. I mean, yeah.
Absolutely. That's, again, from an American perspective, it's always like you'd think they would always be only playing their own music, which is dumb, but it's like...
Yeah, I think it's the same in every country for Irish music, because it's really all over.
Sure, absolutely. And then you're also writing, so there's a lot of old-timey music that you play, but you're also writing new compositions of your own, some of it a more modern style song with verses and choruses, and sometimes it's more of that reel where it's just simply, the five of you jamming out. So that's something else I always like to point out, is that there's some really, really awesome original music being created in this way. And sometimes you might listen to it and think, oh, that must be really old, and it was written by one of you all, or a combination. So anything you want to share about that, like the creative process, the inspiration of how new songs maybe come to you as you're kind of, writing a song?
Well, it's usually something made by the whole band. I mean,
Sure.
someone is coming with some
Like
lyrics.
an original idea, but then it gets
with
fleshed
original
out by the whole
lyrics
band.
and a rough idea, and
Yeah.
then we're just arranging all together. And especially with the song, we are trying to give this modern flavor. So
Sure.
We're gonna listen later. One of our single. It was released until like 2 weeks ago, and we tried to give it quite a modern flavor, kind of a popish sometimes. I know it's a bad word to use
Agreed.
sometimes, but
Not on. Like,
that's
not.
a-
I always go out of my way on the show. Pop is not a negative. It just simply is a style.
That's what I think. I mean, and it's something that is spreading a lot into folk music, Irish music, and Scottish music now. So it's something we love. So we're trying to put this one into
bring it in.
our compositions.
Absolutely, embrace it all. Absolutely. And Johan, what can you tell me about like the fiddle? Because within all these other strings, it's a much more unique instrument compared to the others.
Oh, I'm fighting so hard to get in my role. I got 3 banjos on the.
Listen to me. Yeah.
No, well, yeah. I mean, the fiddle is a very traditional instrument in Irish music.
Certainly.
So of course, like it makes sense in a traditional context. So it's more like the element of the band that really stands out in a way is this hard presence of the banjos. But the fact of having like I'm using, for example, the fiddle that is tuned in different ways, and that allows me to have like a lot of double strings and double stops.
Yeah.
And
I saw on your social media that you actually put out videos of the different tunings. I thought that was really interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's sort of because in Irish music it's very typical to play the melody and the pure melody, while for example in old time music it's a lot more common to play 2 strings at a time, or also in bluegrass. So I think this is an element that kind of helps binding the 2 genres together. I don't consider myself like an old-time fiddle player, because I know very little actually, and I got to know more and more by joining this band.
Yeah. I did learn at one of my interviews, someone taught me the difference between a violin and a fiddle is you can spill beer on a fiddle.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
And Lorenzo, anything you would want to share? Because again, switching from banjo to mandolin, is that difficult? Is it easy? Like, is there anything you would want to share as like a big differentiator there? Because you do it flawlessly on stage, but I'm sure it's not as easy as it looks.
Well, I find the mandolin easier than the banjo. The tenor banjo is really a fun instrument to play, but it's challenging. My tenor banjo is a short scale, 17 frets. It's a bit shorter than Enda's, and so it's not that hard to switch from one to the other.
Got it.
But of course, every instrument needs practice and to properly learn that language.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, most musicians I talk to refer to their instrument as like they're in like a partnership of playing music together. So you have a different relationship with each one.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you're mad at it, sometimes you're whatever.
I wasn't playing that much the mandolin, but then when Enda joined the band, I had to switch more to the mandolin because sometimes we don't need 3 banjos.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that, but
no, it's
for the
super
sound,
fun. Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
that useful.
That's the beauty of coming and seeing a live show, so that you can see all the different flavors of it. And then the one that I had asked for, just so you all know, because it's fascinating and you definitely have to go see it, is they play a Scottish bagpipe song, but on the banjos. So it's fascinating, and you can almost hear it. Like you can say, I could imagine this as a bagpipe song, but it really rocks when it's just, again, 3 banjos just throwing all that sound at you with the fiddle and the stomping and all that other stuff. Like, it's just really, really wonderful. And you got everybody up, so I just want to remind everybody, tonight, 7:30 here. So if you are anywhere near the festival and you were planning on going down to Musikfest, actually, even if you weren't planning on going down, plan to now. Gadan puts on this incredible show, and don't even start sitting. They won't let you sit, and then you won't want to sit. You're going to want to get up and dance and bebop around to this amazing music. So it's 7:30 tonight on the Amerikaplatz stage, which is the big stage with the steel stacks. You had a beautiful view last night with Stadplatz. You're going to see an even different kind of beautiful view tonight, because now you'll be underneath the steel stacks. Enda, you've seen it before, where it's just this kind of like awesome urban decay in a beautiful way, and it's a very, very cool spot. So you got the two best stages that we have to offer.
Great.
But all the stages are great, but those two are in particular great acoustics and great visuals. And now there'll be great sonic sound as well. So thank you all for joining. We're going to swap you all out for the non-Italians. And just really appreciate you guys coming along today, and thank you for sharing the stories.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao a tutti.
So now welcome to the stage, Enda Scahill.
Hello.
And Eric Long. And so, Enda from Galway?
Yeah, we're going to do this part of the interview in Italian.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's the funny part, not like just interesting. Eric, you grew up in York, PA?
Yeah.
So just down the road.
Yeah, I was born in California, but I only lived in California until I was about 5. And then I spent 5 to 18 in York, PA. So
Yeah.
just down the road. Yeah, so it's like feels like home being here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. And you had a lot of family and friends here last night for the performance.
Some people that haven't seen me. You know, I've been in California for so long that when I do play on this coast, you know, people like to come out and support. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that was awesome. And actually, last night, I believe you're the one who said it, but mentioned, hey, you'll have to get the story on how I joined the band, you'll have to stop over to the merch table.
Sure.
Now you can refer to this show, because we'll get into it, but in a second. But let's start with you, Enda. How did you kind of come across this opportunity to take your, banjo talents to Milan?
Because I have a wicked sense of humor. And I'm friends with Lorenzo for a long time.
Right.
Because he's a banjo player.
Sure, right.
And I saw these guys on tour a couple of years ago, and they had 2 banjos on stage. So every time they'd put up a picture or a video, I just put a comment on it going, "You need another banjo." just trying to be funny.
Sure,
right?
of course.
And I think sometime last year, the year before, Lorenzo said, "Are you joking?" And I was like, "Of course."
Yes, I am.
But then he says, "Do you want to come and be a guest on the band?" And I was like, I had done We Banjo 3 for 10 years.
Right. And it started as 3 banjos. It evolved into mandolins and fiddles and such, but you were not unfamiliar with having 3 banjos.
The irony of being in a band that now actually has 3 banjos is not lost on me. Because for a finish, We Banjo 3 had like 1 banjo.
Yeah, right.
But it still had 4 people. And it never actually made that much mathematical sense.
Well, one of my favorite lines from the interview we did was like you started to add your brother, and it was like you were already known as We Banjo 3, and We Banjo 3 plus 1 just didn't have a good ring to it.
No,
so you just kept it.
We were trying to figure. I mean, if I could go back to the start, if I had been able to see where we were going to go, I would definitely not call it We Banjo 3.
Right.
But it was an effort at the time to sound different to everything else.
Yes.
Because there was like 100 bands that had Irish sounding names, and I was like, let's stand out from the crowd, which we did.
You sure did.
So people would come out because they either loved the banjo or they were like curious to see how much they hated it. But it sold out all of the time.
This sounds terrible. Let's go listen.
Let's go judge the banjos.
And then I guarantee you they loved it. That's the funny part. And also, you also told the stories about how like you would go into the dance tents. I'm sorry, the tents that prevented dancing and got them all up dancing. It's so funny.
We loved nothing more than being on a stage where we didn't really belong. Like in 2019, I think after we were here last, we did Grey Fox. And it's a convoluted story about how we ended up there.
Sure.
But our first show at Grey Fox was 9 o'clock headline slot on main stage. And there was a lot of raised eyebrows.
Sure.
A lot of raised eyebrows.
Sure.
And so we did like a killer set because we were there. We're going to really prove ourselves, which I love more than anything else.
Absolutely.
I love a little bit of chaos on stage. Just keeps you on your toes.
Yep.
And we finished bang on the time, and there's another band getting ready to come on. And the crowd booed the MC for 7 solid minutes. We had everything put away. We're like heading for the van because it's 100 degrees. And he goes, "You got to do another one." We've played everything.
Yeah.
We got up and did the only encore that's ever been at Grey Fox.
That's so fun.
But that's that whole thing of like, we're not supposed to be here, so we're gonna crush it.
Yeah. We Banjo 3 has left the building.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Eric, let's get into it. How do you get kind of found by this and bring the American flavor?
Yeah. So today's a different time to be a musician than it's ever been. And, we're a lot more accessible through online. Right?
Certainly.
So I got recommended to these guys. Somebody had stumbled upon some of my. I primarily work as like a singer-songwriter, and I play in a bunch of bands and stuff. But one of the guys stumbled across videos of me playing like clawhammer band,
yeah,
singing, and they reached out, and then it was months of like figuring out if it was going to be a right fit, right? Because these guys were in Italy and in Ireland,
sure,
and then eventually we just said, well, let's try it out, you know. So I flew to Italy and we played for about a week, and at the end of it, I think it felt great to everybody, and here we are.
Yeah. And I did hear one of the amazing things. I have a few like musical questions. Is how tight you all are, and I got to figure with this many miles between the five of you, it's hard to practice together. But I understand you spent like a week or 2 weeks in Italy to kind of tighten it up. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So we went to Italy and obviously ran the stuff because you got to get in a room together.
Yeah,
it's like
we're only tight because we just do whatever Johan does in the fiddle.
Yeah,
he's got all of the degrees and masters, and we just follow him. Right?
He's the cog that makes it all spin.
Oh, yeah.
But one question I did have is just it's amazing to watch. There's inherently like this build in a song where a lot of times, sometimes it's as visual and sonic as one instrument, then two, then three, then four, then five. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you can just feel all five of you are building towards this. Usually it hits a stomp or something like that, and then it gets into like the almost like the chorus of a instrumental. Is that designed and engineered that way, or is it nonverbal cues that you all are giving each other to say we're now in this movement or whatever you might call it?
We all kind of know where we're going, and
Okay.
I think we all can feel when the thing is building.
Sure.
And the natural inclination is to just let it go there.
Right.
And then,
So it's just a feel because all of you trust each other in that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's so cool.
And we know that there's going to be a peak at some point, and then we're at a different cruising altitude.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
then,
that's
and then it's a
amazing.
new set of how we want to build something into a different song. One of the most interesting things for me, like getting into Irish music, is like sets are really common.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was not something that I was too familiar and isn't really common in like old time and bluegrass, right? You play a song, and in Irish music you play. It's really common to play 2 or 3 tunes
Sure.
within the same thing.
Right.
You can build towards the next tune within a song and find an interesting way to get there.
Absolutely. No, that's super cool. We're lucky to have a local band who was actually on the stages yesterday. It was almost like they were opening for you. Their name is Fig for a Kiss, and that's a lot of what they do. When I had them on, they had to, they played a song, and I was like, "You said you were going to play 3," and they're like, "That was all 3 of them," and I was like, "I have much learning to do," but it was that it had the different parts to it, and it was 3 different kind of reels that were stitched together. So I know exactly now. I know what you mean, and it's very cool. It's a very, very interesting way to kind of lay that out. One of the things you're going to play today is that it's 2 songs that are kind of made to kind of perform that way. To get a little instrument nerdy,
let's do it.
Tenor, banjo, clawhammer. What are the differences so that people maybe have a little bit more of an understanding and an appreciation for that?
I couldn't. I don't think I could play a note on the clawhammer.
Sure, and I think that's the interesting thing about it for sure. So, what are the major differences, and how does that then also maybe sound different?
The tenor banjo is essentially tuned like a fiddle.
Okay.
So for anyone that knows about fiddle or mandolin, so it's tuned in fifths.
Okay.
And it's played pretty much the same mechanism as a mandolin. I don't even know how a clawhammer is tuned.
The big difference, so I play in like a number of different tunings throughout the set, and the main reason behind that is tenor banjo has 4 strings, and I play a 5-string banjo.
Right.
And it's an open back banjo, so it doesn't have a resonator. So
right.
That's another difference. But that top string doesn't go all the way down to the headstock.
I've noticed
that. So that pretty much dictates what key you can play in, which is why I need to change a lot. So as you're changing these tunings, I'm kind of locked into certain types of chords that I can play based upon what that top string is tuned to. So if we change to a totally different key, I need to find a way to change into a tuning that's going to work with that tune and those chords that are going to work.
That's probably the most challenging aspect of putting sets together, because as Eric mentioned, we'll play 3 jigs or 3 reels, but the key change is the essential factor.
Yeah.
So that's how you're creating the hype as you go through the tune. But
if you're locked
trying to accommodate 3 very different tunings in a clawhammer,
it's tricky. Yeah.
So. And I also noticed the way you strum it is much more up the neck instead of in front of the.
So that's a huge difference. Yeah, with tenor banjo, so Enda plays with a plectrum, a pick.
Mm-hmm.
which is different than bluegrass banjo, because in bluegrass you play with finger picks.
Sure.
Picks. With claw hammer, you actually play with the outside of your nail. Mm-hmm. So with bluegrass, you would pick. I don't know if they can see this. In bluegrass banjo, you pick up, but with claw hammer banjo, you're actually hitting the string.
Oh, interesting.
So actually, I hit it with the edge of my fingernail.
Yeah.
So you're hitting down as opposed to picking up, which is very different.
If there are any banjo nerds listening, I'm actually playing a plectrum banjo.
Yeah.
So it's a custom build. So it's 22.5 frets. The half is very important.
2.5.
So Lorenzo
My goodness. When he said 17, I thought that was a big number. Then he continued on, and he was just like, so I don't have as many as Enda. I'm like, my Lord, how many are on there?
You know, Lorenzo's banjo will eventually grow up and turn into
If he waters it enough and feeds it,
He just has to play it harder,
Yeah.
and then it'll grow into a full-length adult banjo. And then I've got like the grandfather version. So mine's like a combination of a 5-string and a tenor.
Absolutely, that's so funny.
Because I love to be confusing.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know if it was when you first came to the States performing, or if there was somewhere in your story, you had talked about that people were amazed that you were using a flat pick to make the sound that you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because we do loads of triplets.
Sure.
Which are... They're pretty divisive in the bluegrass world. I do loads of videos on YouTube, and anytime I do a mandolin one, I purposely do it about triplets because it upsets like 50% of the bluegrass players and get loads of comments. And then the other 50% are like, I have no idea how you do this. This is amazing.
Yeah, right.
So we're using the flat pick, but the triplets are a big part of the ornamentation in Irish music. And that's probably one of the things that separates, we'll say, bluegrass and old time from Irish music. So, you know, if you're playing bluegrass, it's about the, taking a break and the variations that you can put into the melody. But in Irish music, we add ornaments, and that's true of fiddle and accordion and all the other instruments. So often the melody will stay pretty close to the original melody, but you ornament it by using different types of triplets.
That's so cool. Because what I find is like that. Why I love these moments, and then I used to try and avoid the nerdy stuff because I'm like, I'm interested, but I don't know if anyone else will be. Most people are like, why did you stop talking? That was the best part. And I think what helps from why I'm so curious is I can listen to a song and know that's Irish, that's bluegrass, but I don't know why. Mm-hmm. And these are the types of things where I'm just like, okay, now it's starting to understand. Because I was never musically trained, music theory, any of that stuff. I don't have any of that. Yeah. But I just have an ear, and I can listen, and I'm like, you can just tell there's a difference, but not be able to put it into words.
And the other huge difference is that bluegrass music tends to play very tight to the rhythm. Mm-hmm. So it's very straight. Whereas Irish music has a swing.
Yeah.
We call it nya because we can't think of a better word for it. But there's a lot of elasticity in how the notes are actually played through each bar.
Sure.
Right. So it's like if you were playing a typewriter, that's almost like what bluegrass music is, like very, very tight to the rhythm. Yep. Whereas with Irish music, there's a lilt to it. So some of the notes stretch.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to write it down, probably impossible.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest challenges as a teacher is you're trying to...
You got to teach somebody a swing or a feel rather than...
Yeah, because it's not prescribed.
Yeah, and it's hard to then give that as homework because you only know it if you're listening to it, not... You can't just practice it on your own.
And, no more than old-time bluegrass music, if you go to different parts of Ireland, they're going to swing it ever so slightly differently.
Yeah. Like an accent almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome stuff. What else can we talk about? Talk about this new music you have out now. Like, so are you bringing this movement towards writing more of a modern type song, or is this something that was always there and I'm just not as familiar with it?
I think it's kind of a collective thing, but I think that there's definitely me being a different kind of style singer-songwriter,
sure,
primarily singer than has been in the band before, is obviously gonna some of what I do well is gonna wear off on the band, and personally I love writing songs, so I love to keep on doing it.
Because the first song you're going to play is We Can Shine, which is what we're talking about here, where it's a little bit more of a modern type song, but in your style. And then the other one is more of that combo song where it's going to be Boys in the Gap and Arkansas Traveler, which is one of those old-timey or...
Arkansas Traveling.
Yeah. And so that'll just be awesome to just see all of that on display. And then after that, you're all going to want to see it more. So then you're going to want to come down to Musikfest or wherever else that you all are performing. Let's actually bring that up right here, because once we kind of go to the music, it'll be hard to kind of come back and reset. So I have your website here to kind of help promote some stuff. Yeah. Look at those handsome devils. And so just kind of wanted to bring this up so that people can see what they can find, videos, and here it is. So here we are, Musikfest 4th, 5th. And then other opportunities. So Minneapolis, Wisconsin again. A lot of Wisconsin. How about that?
Yeah.
But great to see that the festivals are picking this up, where obviously it's got to be quite an endeavor for the four of you all to come over the Western Sea and be able to perform here, that you want to make it worth your while. So it's great to see that that's getting taken up. But anything else we can kind of help promote other than either the tour or merch? You guys have killer T-shirts and such.
A big thing is, we're kind of unveiling a new record right now. So there's
awesome.
So two of the singles are out now.
Right. And We Can Shine is one of them?
We Can Shine is another, is one of the songs. We also did a song by a band called Hot Rise. It was written by Tim O'Brien. It's called You Were On My Mind This Morning. So, So both those two songs are available now, but the rest of the record is on the way. So
follow the social media so that when that comes out, people will be fully aware of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And anything else that comes in.
Or come tonight and you can take a CD home with you. And
there you go.
You get the tracks right away. So.
Excellent. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put on your promo video.
Okay.
While we kind of resituate the microphones and cameras, and we'll get things set up so that we can hear some Gadan music.
Let's do it.
Thank you both for coming on the show, and can't wait to hear the live stuff.
Nice to be here.
Absolutely. So stay tuned. We're just going to move some stuff around and enjoy the Gadan promo.
Red as the blooming rose, I've the deepest round. You just darling of my heart till the sun goes down. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. To be my wife, Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. In the summertime, there's apples in the fall. If I can have the one I love, I won't have known at all. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm about to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little... Kansas City, are you ready? Woo!
Got you already? Awesome. I'll introduce, but actually, so you can go a little farther left, and then everybody should go left, if possible. Start what we think? Yeah. It's gonna look wider. It'll look more like this.
and the U. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that looks beautiful. What could be better? All right, so I'm going to give us, we're on mute right now, so. All right, we were not on mute, so some people heard that, but at least we didn't use any foul language. Anyway, so we are going to start with, I'll let you guys introduce the song, but everyone, ladies and gentlemen, Gadan.
This is our song, We Can Shine.
I've got love to fill the day. I've got enough to fill your heart. You're all I need with you by my side. When we talk, you keep me up all night. And when the days feel like a song, when the days are dark and long, I'll be there by your side. I'll be your love, I'll be your light. And when the road is tough, we will be enough. We can shine. When I'm with you, I can shine. For all our lives, together we can shine. Out on the water, far and wide, I'll wait on the other side. Walk with me out until I'll be lost without a woman like you. There's a time, there's a place, and I knew it when I saw your face. I was waiting just to lay your heart. Came along and filled my heart. To the world it might not look like much, but it will be enough. We can shine. When I'm with you, I can shine. For all our lives, together we can shine. We can shine. When I'm with you, I can shine. For all our lives, when I'm with you, we can shine. I've got love to fill the day. I've got enough to fill your heart.
All right. And then we've got
A little shuffle here for you.
a little Gadan shuffle.
Yeah, I should say that. There we go.
Gadan Band on socials. And make sure you check that out. Follow them everywhere. Go see them play live. You have a chance to see them tonight, 7:30, America Plots here at Musikfest. Lots of other dates coming up elsewhere in the U.S. And can't thank you all enough. Eric, Jacopo, Enda, Lorenzo, Johan, thank you so much. Your next favorite band. See you down at the Platzes.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.